Wow. Welcome back to another episode, man, of the Two Truth Podcast. I have missed you guys. We went on another sabbatical. Is that what they call it? Sabbatical?
We call it sabbatical, hiatus.
We're back,
Something
though.
like that. We're back.
We're back, Phil.
Back again.
Welcome back, man. I missed you.
World champs.
How you doing?
World champs.
We survived.
We
World
made it.
champs, what'd you say?
World champs.
What do Spanish people say when they say yes?
Sí.
Hawks! World champs are in the building, man. Welcome back to another episode of the Two Truth Podcast, man. I am Robel. This is Phil. This chair is clearly empty. That is Rob. Shout out to Koa. Shout out to all the workers back there, man, that are making sure that this podcast is. We got a full cast back there, man, making sure that the lights is bright, the cameras are running, man. We are a multi-million-dollar machine back here, man, with plenty of people that we employ, man. But we are glad to be back. How you doing, Phil?
Great.
Doing all right?
Yeah.
What's new?
I don't know if it was the Seahawks or the uppity, but you know, caught a little cold. Took a few days off.
Yeah.
And I'm on that first day back from a cold, which always feels the best. You're not 100%, but there's nothing like feeling 95% when you just felt 50.
Absolutely.
You feel like you're on steroids. And then you do something and you're like, I'm not on steroids. I'm a little tired. But it feels crazy.
Absolutely, man. Well, since the last time we potted, the Seahawks became world champions in the NFL, right? Which is also weird. I don't know why they call it world champs, but
I'm actually cool with world champs for NFL.
okay.
I'm not cool with it for the other sports.
Okay.
I'm cool with it for the NFL because nobody else plays this sport.
Yeah.
It's some made up shit we did so we could be winners.
Yeah, man.
It's a participation trophy.
29-13
Yeah, that was a fun game.
against the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker balled out, man. 135 yards on 27 carries.
He did.
Ended up becoming the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, in front of his dad. First pro game his dad ever saw him play.
Yeah, he's been sick too, right? I think he said something about his dad has been sick.
Yeah, so
that's great. I think that was dope. I really thought Jason Myers should have won.
Jason Myers went crazy.
5 field goals, bro. Are you serious?
Super Bowl record.
Come on, man. You got to get a kicker. You got to give the kicker some love, man.
Super Bowl record.
That's a hard one to sell if it's not Adam Vinatieri, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, people were giving a shit for Seattle being in the Super Bowl to begin with.
What's crazy is with 13 to New England, he beat New England by himself.
He sure the fuck did. He sure did, man. Did you get a chance to check out the parade?
I did not check out the parade.
You did not.
No, I kind of felt like the last one was my time. I was the right age for it. What was our last one? I was 25.
Yeah.
The city's just more alive when you're 25.
Absolutely.
It looked fun. We had way better weather this time for it.
Yeah.
But I did some very adult shit during the Super Bowl parade, and I ran hella errands while no one was on the road.
Did they confirm how many people were actually out there in attendance?
They said they were expecting a mill. I don't know if
saw
they
that.
confirmed it.
Okay.
I want to see the school absences. Because the first parade, we set a record for school absences.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if people know, Seattle's like one of the only cities that doesn't cancel school for World Championship parades.
Which is insane.
So instead, they just have 30% of kids not show up to school, which all teachers will tell you is worse because everyone shows up, but you can't get anything done.
Yeah.
Now the next day, we're just doing school for kids who missed, and the kids who were there are just sitting there like, all right.
But let's also just be honest with ourselves. Teachers are adults, last time I checked, right?
Last I checked.
Yeah, they don't want to be there. Fuck, they don't want to be there.
No.
This is crazy. It's insane. Let everybody take the day off. It's a fucking national holiday. They just won the Super Bowl.
And if I have my numbers correct, at best, we get a parade every 12 years.
Yeah.
But I'm 37. We've had 2.
Yeah.
So
we should have had 3, but it's all good. I still think about the one we lost.
I think we just got it back.
I think we should have 3. But quick prediction. Who do you got winning next year?
Oh, man. I'm nervous about Kenneth Walker.
Oh, it's contingent on Kenneth?
Well, my fear is that the Chiefs pick up Kenneth Walker and all of a sudden look like the 2009 Lakers when Kobe was demanding a trade and then was in the championship within 6 months as soon as they got Powell?
Well, you got it. You're speaking as if Patrick Mahomes is going to be ready next year, which I don't think.
I expect him to be ready for like Game 5.
I don't think he'll be ready next year.
You don't think at all?
Yeah.
Oh,
but they are shaking up some stuff in Kansas City. They just freed up. They restructured Patrick Mahomes' contract, which gave them another like $54 million of cap space. And the Miami Dolphins just cut Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
So there is some potential there, but again, it's still contingent on whether or not Patrick Mahomes is going to be ready.
Oh, 100%.
So I mean, it's great and it's all signs lead there, but I still think the Seahawks are going to run it back. I think that when you've only got 6 people to worry about from a salary renewal standpoint, and the bulk of your team is still intact, I think that's a really good position to put yourself in. And I think that in any sport, when you win a championship, there's a different level of confidence that you approach each game with. You know what I'm saying? Very rarely do you see a team come back the next year and just, pitch a shit ton of shutouts, in terms of just not showing up to play football.
Yeah, and the nice thing is I think they're built similar to the 2014 team.
Sure.
In the sense that, man, could their offense improve a lot. I know they got the best offensive player, in my opinion, in the NFL.
Yeah.
They also had the guy who had the most turnovers in the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, his postseason was clean slate, but in the regular season, there's still a lot that Darnold could improve on.
Interesting fact. If the Seahawks go to the Super Bowl next year, that day actually falls on JSN's birthday. Did you know that?
He's a Valentine's Day baby?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I think they're going to win. Anyways, man, shout out to the Seahawks. Shout out to Washington State, man, as a whole, man. It's glad to see the city come together to celebrate such an amazing performance in Super Bowl. What was that, 60?
Super Bowl 60, LX.
Coaches that have been let go, coaches that have been hired. There's been a little bit of a carousel in the NFL, man. And I think the first one to definitely talk about is Kubiak, our offensive coordinator, going to Las Vegas to replace Pete Carroll after a 1-year.
That was weird.
That was really weird.
That was weird.
What the fuck happened there?
I don't know. But that was weird.
They shouldn't have fired Gruden.
They're going to be paying like 4 coaches next year or something in Vegas.
They sure are. But Kubiak is going to be, he's the head coach in Las Vegas. He also brought, I think, the QB coach.
He's going to take him with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
John Harbaugh, New York Giants.
Yep.
He, I don't know if he got fired. Did he get fired from Baltimore?
I think he got fired. Tomlin stepped down. I think he got fired.
Tomlin stepped down, and the head coach there is Mike. What's the head coach?
McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Old Packers and Cowboys coach.
Yep.
Who else? Kevin Stefanski. He's in Atlanta.
Yep.
I don't know what they're doing in. I think that the Buffalo Bills just hired from within. They took their offensive coordinator. He's the head coach there now.
Which makes sense because no one did anything wrong in Buffalo.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like, who's going to go, the quarterback or the head coach? And obviously not the quarterback.
I don't, do you think the quarterback wanted him out of there though?
I don't. That's why I'm saying that was like no one did anything wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
but they just felt like they couldn't run it back. I don't know.
Yeah, that's always a challenge. I think that'll be something to like keep an eye on, because I think that Buffalo, I think it was a bad decision to get rid of him, to be honest with you.
I do too. And I think keeping the offensive coordinator as the head coach almost is like admitting like, somebody had to go, but we liked what the team was doing.
Well, the other thing that was really interesting about that decision to part ways with their head coach is there was clearly some disagreement in regards to cutting players during the season, trying to bring guys that chose not to show up. So Darius Slay, cornerback, they went they cut one of their players, signed him from waivers, and he was like, "Fuck that, I'm not playing." And it's always interesting when you let go of a head coach for a general manager mistakes, but keep the general manager.
Oh, absolutely.
There.
It's crazy.
And it does affect the locker room nucleus when you do make decisions like that. I think if you're going to make a decision like that and get rid of your coach, but keep the general manager, it clearly sends it maybe like our front office don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah. And the thing that sucks, and everybody knows it, is when you go up the chain, the general manager is the last chain of command before the owner.
Yeah.
So if the coach goes and is like, I needed better guys.
Yeah.
The general manager still can sneak in at the last minute and be like, honestly, man,
Sure.
if he had just played the guys I got, blah, 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 and all of a sudden the owner's like, yeah, what the GM said.
Yeah.
Or at worst, the GM's going to talk more business talk than football talk and speak the language better to the owner.
Sure.
Because I always think that's crazy. I'm like, yo, whatever. The coach is only dealing with whatever the GM got him.
Yeah. It's also worth noting that the Arizona Cardinals hired the old Rams offensive coordinator, Mike LaFleur.
Which could be good, could be bad.
Yeah.
The Rams, is a Mike Shanahan or, who's the Rams coach? Mike Shanahan Jr.? Yeah, Sean McVay.
Sean McVay, yeah.
So if if Kyle Shanahan or Sean McVay have offensive coordinators, are those real offensive coordinators?
Yeah, I think so.
I always just assumed they were figureheads, and they're just there.
But that's gotta suck though when you have the inability to maximize the potential of your coaching staff, and every year you have a successful football season. Each one of your coaches end up getting jobs in different places. So, like, I think the Seahawks are feeling a little bit of that as well with the success of Kubiak and him being a hot topic for a head coaching position at a vacancy. And now we got to figure it out. I think we've hired an OC since then. I've heard some names floating around a little bit, but we'll see, man. It's also really worth noting that coaches getting fired and hired typically happens during Black History Month, and the stats there aren't in our favor most years.
The fact that the Rooney Rule is the main topic of the first week of Black History Month is always hilarious, and especially in a year like this year where there were no black coaches hired.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
But, like, what else is new?
Yeah, man. You know what's interesting about the business of the NFL? For anyone that's involved in it, it's a very ruthless business because it's like, what have you done for me lately kind of business model.
Sure.
And I had a mentor tell me when I was, pursuing football at a young age, he's like, hey, son, if you're going to play this sport, you better be able to buy a home on wheels because, you'll be here today, gone tomorrow, and on to your next hometown in less than 24 hours, And so you hear about some of these names that have built a lot of stake in some of these organizations and just to be let go because they didn't meet an expectation of some sort. They make a shit ton of money and you can clearly just be like, well, they'll figure it out. They've got a bunch of money, but it's still, the business is still what it is. It's unfortunate. And we hope for the coaches that are still in limbo and trying to figure it out. I hope you guys figure it out. But it is what it is, man.
It's a ruthless business.
It definitely is.
Pete Carroll, one and done.
Yeah.
That's a crazy business.
The NBA signed a big deal with NBC.
They sure did.
And it happened to go into effect. This was year one, right?
This was year one.
During the Winter Olympics.
While NBC was hosting the Winter Olympics.
And the NBA All-Star took the backseat to its first year with NBC due to the Olympics and their reruns, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's what it is. Yes. Yes, they pushed all of the NBA All-Star festivities out of prime time to start at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
So that they could play events that happened 9 hours earlier in prime time on NBC and Peacock. Yeah.
Insane.
That's what happened, yeah.
Insane. I mean, I think on Friday, I might have still been at work, and I get like a Twitter notification. It was like, Damian Lillard in the first round makes X amount. I was like, it's only 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it was crazy.
And they were all wrapped up before 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Friday. And then on Saturday, it was kind of more of the same. I think Friday was the celebrity game.
Friday was celebrity. Yeah, Glorilla was doing her thing with Coach B.I.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he smiled, but that's crazy.
Yeah, girls will do that to you, Phil.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I thought he was just all business face, but yeah, good for him.
Saturday was what? Like their new rising star thing that isn't the rising star?
No, yeah, they did the 3-point contest, and then between they did do you remember 2-ball?
Yeah.
The one year they got rid of the dunk contest, they replaced it with 2-ball.
Yeah.
I don't know what that game was we watched, but it looked like 2-ball. It was called Hot Shot.
The Knicks won, right?
The Hot Shot event?
Yeah. I think the Knicks won.
Oh, okay, maybe they did.
I think they won whatever the Rising Star thing
They had a
was.
variety of teams. They had Harper's playing, like Team Harper, which was just
weird.
Ron Harper and his sons.
It was weird.
I was like, what is going on?
And I didn't like. I think the highlight of the All-Star weekend was the 3-point contest.
Absolutely. The 3-point contest was crazy.
Yeah, man. Who's the rookie? Who's the rookie that?
Con Knippel?
He was balling. He came out there first round and dropped 31.
First round, he was the first person.
In his sweatpants looking like Larry Bird.
He walked out there and dropped 27 and was like, all right. I was like, God damn.
Yeah. That was funny. It was Damian Lillard ended up winning, right?
Nah. Devin Booker ended up losing.
Okay.
I'm wrong? Damian Lillard had 29.
Yeah.
Devin Booker went into the last rack. What did he end up with? 28. So he went in the last rack with 24.
Yeah.
Which meant he needed to make 3 balls. Or he needed with 25. So he needed to make 2 to win.
Yeah.
He needed to make 2 of 5 to win. He made 1.
Yeah.
He was on pace to have 37, beat Dame by 8, and he lost.
He lost. He sure did. The thing that was most interesting about it is when they interviewed Steph Curry.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, and he was like, yeah, I want to get back. I want to come back and redeem myself. And he mentioned a couple of OGs and chose not to make mention of Knuppel. What's his name? Colin Knuppel. What's his name?
Con Knippel?
That's a cold fucking name, man. But he didn't acknowledge him. And I know that young boy, he heard that. He'd be like, I'll be ready for you next year, old man. Because you know they calling him, he's like on pace.
No, not on pace.
He is.
He's surpassed Steph in everything.
As a rookie, right?
For a rookie.
Yeah, as in terms of 3-point shooter, right?
Yeah, in terms of 3-point
Which is incredible. I think that's dope.
It is incredible. It looks more crazy that him and Cooper Flag didn't win the national championship this year.
Sure.
Because they both look insane. Now, they lost to a bunch of 35-year-old men, but whatever.
Yeah.
He looks great.
Dunk contest.
Yeah.
Should we do away with the dunk contest?
All right. I was joking. I was completely joking when I said that I did a 360 dunk and me and Nate could have a dunk contest.
Yeah.
But we actually watched someone 7 feet tall pull off a dunk that I've seen Tyler do. And he backed up to the back of the court to do it. He backed up 96 feet, ran.
Sure
I was
did.
like, ooh, what's he about to do?
He sure did.
He did an off 1 foot, 1-hand dunk
He sure the freak did.
on a 10-foot hoop.
That was old boy from the Lakers, right?
That was crazy.
Yeah. And then, who was the kid his dad played? Jason Richardson Jr.
Jace Richardson?
Yeah.
That was nuts.
Well,
he's lucky.
The thing that's also really unfortunate about his, they showed his dad's highlight.
Yo, that was so unnecessary.
How do you top that?
That was so unnecessary because everybody had like a lead-in video.
Sure.
His lead-in video was just his dad's highlight tape. I was like, yo, what is he supposed to do?
And in the midst of that, he almost killed himself.
He did. That was crazy.
His head bounced off that fucking hardwood so hard.
We almost had our first dunk contest concussion protocol.
Yeah, man, that was insane. So, who's the kid from Miami? I'm not mad at you if you don't know his name. It's all
I
good.
forget his name.
I don't know his name.
I don't feel bad because I saw he played 6 minutes or something this season.
Yeah. He's a hell of a dancer.
He's a great
He can
dancer.
dance, boy.
Yeah.
Chris
You know,
Brown.
he kind of reminded me of who was the dude who used to be on the Warriors? Bazemore.
Oh yeah, what happened to Bazemore?
He actually became a rotation player, but remember when his job was just to do handshakes and dance? 2K even put him in the game. Like 2K did separate animations for him on the bench.
They sure did.
Not him as a player, but him on the bench.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, we got a new dancing guy.
Yeah. To be honest with you, until we get some sort of verbal commitment from our NBA All-Stars like Ja Morant, Anthony Edwards, and anyone else, I think we should petition the NBA dunk contest moving forward, effective immediately. Like, get rid of it.
Yeah, I mean, take a year off. Don't replace it with 2-ball.
Just get rid of it. Just do the 3-point contest. Do a couple different variations of the 3-point contest and get rid of the dunk contest.
No, I want bring back part 2 that we were supposed to get a couple years ago. Yeah. And we could do Caitlin Clark. I don't necessarily need Caitlin Clark. I need Steph, Sabrina, Clay.
Why?
And one more WNBA player.
Why?
Because that was the best all-star shit I've seen of the last 5 years.
Anyways, the world versus USA. Sunday. He's baiting me. He's trying to get me canceled.
No, I'm
He's
not.
trying to get me canceled. I'm not doing it.
The best three-point shooter in the WNBA showed up and beat everybody in the NBA except Steph with a men's basketball.
Is that the narrative you're going with?
She did.
Okay.
She did. That's what happened. These are the facts.
What happens? Anyways, again, bleep this out. What happens when one of those guys beat those girls?
Well, one did.
How dare you? Why would you do that? That's different. That's different. You're expected as Steph Curry to beat them. But if Romel Woldu goes out there as an NBA basketball player and beats so and so, it's like,
and 3-point contest? No.
I don't buy it. I saw her do like a 3-point contest with Jamal Crawford.
No. You're talking about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, I was like, that's bullshit.
But that's why I said we don't need Caitlin Clark. We need Sabrina for sure. Caitlin Clark, we need a second one. I don't need it to be Caitlin Clark.
Why not?
Because, and I've been saying this for a while, people think Caitlin Clark is Steph Curry.
She's not.
Caitlin Clark is Trae Young.
Yeah.
And her shooting percentage says so.
I co-signed that.
And if you watch, I want to see the outtakes. When she played Jamal and Horace, basically all he had to do to get a letter was shoot left-handed.
Yeah.
And she was out. He's left-handed, waxing. Her left hand looks like mine, which my left hand can't do anything. It was crazy. I was like, oh, she can't use her left hand at all. She can shoot from far and she can pass. Yeah. But she's not Steph.
Yeah. She's definitely not Steph.
But yeah, USA versus the world.
What'd you think?
First 3 games were entertaining. Last game was terrible. But I was so hyped on the first 3 games that I was cool with it.
I was so confused. The format threw me off. I mean, it was great basketball to watch, but the format, it just threw me off.
Considering that I researched the format beforehand and they explained it while it was happening, I should have known exactly what was happening. So, yeah, I would say I was confused. I understand what round robin means, but watching it in practice, I was trying to figure out who gets the advantage because I was like, wait, is winning and sitting better and getting cold and then have to come back on again? Because I'm like, if you're fresh for game 2, but the other team's game 1, doesn't that kind of give you an advantage at the beginning? I couldn't figure out who was the beneficiary of the format.
Yeah, I think that Kawhi Leonard definitely had a fucking axe to grind.
Well, that's who I guess that's who was the beneficiary.
Yeah, he was kind of he was like an afterthought, right? Somebody was injured or a couple players got injured, so he ended up becoming an all-star.
He scored 31 of 41 points.
Yeah.
In one of the quarters for them.
In the third game.
31 of 41.
It's insane. But him and KD looked like shit in that last game though.
Yeah.
Those young USA.
Yo, all the my age people who are still in the NBA are killing it until a format like that. They look so old.
Yo, Wemby does not fuck with Jokic or Luka whatsoever. He's like, get these motherfuckers away from me. He meant business during All-Star break, bro.
Yeah, he did.
And he was pissed when they lost. He was so fucking mad.
Yeah.
He was so mad, man. So that's also really interesting. But I like that. I'm excited about that because I do think that as great as Luka is and as great as the Joker is, I think that they do make a mockery of the All-Star the game in the way in which they kind of show up. And I think KD spoke to it a little bit. And I think other players have kind of shared their thoughts and frustration. And one of the cool things that I was able to witness is how Wemby being out there and competing as hard as he did, how he brought the best out of all the other players that he was playing against. So like seeing Anthony Edwards play at a high level, seeing Devin Booker play and match that tenacity was really exciting, man. So I hope, if I had to be critical, like capturing those small moments where guys were really like putting their best foot forward, trying to compete at a high level, is something that we could look forward to in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't say that Jokic and Luka treated like bullshit. Jokic and Luka treat this job like they're doing a job in a foreign country. Those motherfuckers win championships, Western Conference or NBA Finals, and are in their home country within 12 hours. I'm talking.
Yeah.
Do you remember Jokic's face when he found out after celebrating he had to stay for the parade?
He was pissed.
He was pissed.
He was pissed. He was trying to get the fuck up out of there.
And you know what was the first thing he did when he got home? They threw him a parade, and he's just, him and his horses and beer, just excited.
Yeah.
They want to get home. And it's a little different, but The only thing those two like about the All-Star is that's the work trip where they get to see their homie like it's summer camp.
Yeah.
And it's their homie from across the country that they never see until they go to church camp. And they're like, oh, my buddy. They tapping each other on the shoulder, playing grab ass. It's crazy.
Yeah, but you got to remember, man, Wemby, he spent last offseason with monks, like, and doing like karate with Bruce Lee and shit like that.
You know, he's the anomaly.
Yeah, he's not playing any games. Like, he takes basketball very seriously.
Yeah.
And so it's refreshing to see another international player, because I feel like even somebody like what's the guy's name from I'm just drawing a blank, from Milwaukee.
Oh, Giannis?
Giannis. I feel like he's also just kind of like let off the gas a lot too as of late. And so when you think about these international players, man, I look at Wemby and I'm like, man, the league is in good hands, barring he's healthy and doesn't hurt himself, man. Some of you guys are probably wondering, where the heck is Nate? And instead of Phil and I trying to explain what is going on, what better way than to just give him a call? And he's been looking forward to this phone call, so I'm going to give him a call now, and he's going to just jump online and give you guys an update with him and how he's doing. So stand by, all right? He better answer the phone too. Answer the phone, old man. Answer the phone. Nathaniel, what's going on, baby?
Man, y'all said 7:30, cuz it's 8:25.
Hey, man. Hey, we've been having.
Damn, man, y'all got me waiting here, man. I'm trying to eat my soup. I'm on broth, chicken broth.
Yeah, man, I apologize, man. The conversation's kind of, you know how we are, man. We just kind of.
Yeah, man, we go over it. That's good. That's good knowledge, man. You kicking it with the bros, man.
But we miss you too, man. But I wanted to give you the floor and kind of give the listeners an update on life, how you doing, and so I'm gonna give you the floor and kind of.
Oh man.
Tell us what's going on, man.
Yeah, man. I've been struggling, guys. I ain't gonna hold you. I know I've been off the gram and out of the limelight right now, just trying to take care of my health, man. I had a health scare with this. I had a tear in my esophagus, man, for throwing up so hard, man. And I've been throwing up, being sick from cyclic vomiting when I was on dialysis for so long, man. And I think I threw up so hard, I tore a hole in my esophagus, a small partial hole. And I had to stay in the hospital without drinking and eating food for like 7-8 days, and I lost like 20 pounds. So I'm out here looking like Popeye from olive oil from Popeye. Out here hella skinny. So I can't wait to get back in the gym.
So tell me,
once they release me, hopefully tomorrow.
So are you saying that was that due to your kidneys, or how, like, walk us through
it was
what
nothing
happened?
to do with my kidneys, which was great. It was nothing to do with my kidney, which is great. Kidney function still looking amazing. It's just the tear in my esophagus. They had to put the sponge. They put a tube down my nose and a tube down my throat to try to get the sponge to clear up the fluids that's around my chest, so they can see how big the hole was that was in my esophagus. That altogether takes a long process, couple days to get all the fluid out. And they wanted to make sure that, I didn't have that hole in my chest, and thank God I didn't have, to get no surgery. The hole closed up, with the sponge that they thought it would do, and it did it. And I'm blessed, man. Once again, we have setbacks, little minor setbacks for a major, comeback. I'm blessed, man. I'm thankful. The doctor said that I just have to, be mindful of how I'm throwing up and, how violent I should be, throwing up. I told him it's kind of hard when you don't have no control over that, crazy. But they're going to give me, but they're giving me medicine to alter that too as well. So I'm excited about that, just to be able to manage that kind of throwing up and manage the cyclic vomiting when I do have, when those episodes do happen. They occur randomly. I have no control over it. So I'm just trying to stay healthy as I can, and hopefully get back to, eating solid foods in the next day. Right now I'm still on the broth, man. I feel safer rocking with the broth. I had a little chicken quesadilla earlier today. It was pretty solid. I ain't gonna hold you. It was good, but I'm more safe around the chicken broth.
Well, Nate's call clearly dropped, but we want to make sure we just let him know we're glad he's doing fine. He's on the mend, man, and we miss you. We love you, man, and this seat will be here when you return, man. And to those that know Nate from a close or afar, your messages will probably mean the world to him. So just letting him know you're thinking about him and you hope that he's doing better will probably go a long way. So I encourage that. And I appreciate Nate taking the call, man, from the hospital.
Yeah. Well wishes up to Nate, man.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to lie. When he was talking about what happened, it seemed like a lot to deal with. And watching the dunk contest, I was so happy he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want him to have to see that. It almost felt like that would be disrespectful.
That nigga Phil is crazy.
That would be so disrespectful. Why would they do that? He fly his ass all the way out there and they do that.
Oh my God, man. Well,
Jackson Hayes would have done that shit and Nate would have walked over there and be like, bitch, I can do that right now.
Well, switching from one black great leader to another, man, I thought it'd be a great opportunity to acknowledge Black History Month. We've kind of touched on it a few times in the last 19 days or so, but I don't feel like we did proper just. So here we are, Black History Month.
Black History in 2026.
It feels different though.
It feels different. It's not in. You would have asked me 10 years ago what it's gonna feel like. I would expect it to feel a little different.
Yeah.
But it's still important. I think probably something not to lose sight of, especially as I think we're in an era where people are trying to pretend things like that don't exist or aren't necessary anymore.
Yeah.
But I think, one of the main reasons Black History Month was Black History Week and then Black History Month existed in the first place is because it wasn't heavily incorporated in the rest of history. And I think oftentimes people are like, well, we could get rid of Black History Month. And we could if it was equally incorporated in all of history.
Sure.
But for a lot of people, this is the only time they get to learn about, for me growing up, it was all the inventions.
Yeah.
We learned all the shit Black people invented, and there's all the inventions that slaves invented to make their lives easier. Things like the cotton gin.
Yeah.
Then there's things like peanut butter. Everybody learned about peanut butter. But then there's things like the stoplight, or things like the golf tee, or just random stuff that Black people did either to make their lives easier and didn't get credit for, or things they just invented and didn't get credit for. I mean, we know about Uncle Nearest now, but first Black whiskey maker in America is actually the one who taught, man, I always want to say Jim Beam, but that's the cheap version.
Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels taught Jack Daniels how to make it, and yet somehow Uncle Nearest is still a subsidiary of Jack Daniels instead of vice versa. But there's America doesn't exist without stealing land from a group of people, importing various groups of people to do the work from two different continents, and it's I think it's an important part of the year to make sure that doesn't go away.
I totally agree, but I guess my question is, what does Black History Month, and Rob, feel free to chime in, but what does it mean in 2026?
And as someone who doesn't have kids in school, I'm curious as well, because like I said, it was a big month to focus on that when I was in school. Yeah, I don't know what it looks like.
But I can imagine as a Black kid growing up, you looked forward to February in elementary school or middle school or even in high school, because it's like these are some of my fondest memories, right? It's like it felt like an amazing rollout. At least when I was growing up, it felt like a really exclusive and special month where you learned about the great athletes, you learned about the great innovators, you learned about people that have invented things, you learned about fucking just legends, like our forefathers and, people that had come before us and made it a little bit more bearable for the next generation and so on and so forth. And now we're in a place where we just have to exist in it, to be honest, because they laid so much of the groundwork for us to be able to exist and to be able to run businesses and pursue our fondest dreams and whatnot. And I think that as this next generation of African Americans in the United States, it's important to never lose sight of that. I think in 2026, man, like no matter what political climate we're living in or existing in, like you gotta fucking fight and keep fighting. And even when you don't feel like fighting, you gotta fight even harder, because your fight, my fight, Phil's fight looks a lot different than it did for our forefathers while they were getting lynched and getting their properties taken from them and their whole families being exterminated. And you know, like you should feel compelled to continue to press forward and remind my kids, your kids, white kids, Asian kids, Hispanic kids, like this is an opportunity, because you know my kids and some of these other kids they're gonna have to live in this world, you know, at some point when I'm no longer here. And I'll be damned if I don't do my job in making sure my kids don't understand what it means to be black in America. You know, so I think that's extremely important. I think one of the other questions that I have is, and maybe you can answer this, man, but like, how do you celebrate Black History Month without it feeling like performative?
Honestly, nowadays it's kind of tough. I think to avoid the whole performative issue, it starts with having conversations. One like this, right, with other black people, but also with people that, you know, come from all different backgrounds. I think it's important to shed light on some of the prejudice that we've dealt with over the years. I know without even asking both of you guys, you probably have countless stories, just like myself, that you've dealt with over the years in a number of situations. One of the ways that I kind of do Black History Month is I journal about it quite a bit personally. And what I like to do is I try to talk to, you know, my non-black friends, my white friends, and everybody else from different ethnicities, and try to have more conversations about what it's like growing up black in America. Yeah. I've done that the last few years. And it's incredible. Like some of the common ground that you find, like they may not be able to relate, but they can relate with some of the pain. Sure. And just having more conversations like that and just being open about your experience growing up as a black man. I think it's been, to me, that's kind of how you do it.
I love that. And I'll pose the question to you as well, Phil. I mean, how do you celebrate it without it feeling fucking performative? Because everything around us feels very performative.
Yeah, everything is performative. Even things that aren't performative. Like I would say the reason gyms have mirrors is performative. And one of those things is people are, like everyone thinks, oh, you're performing for someone else. Nah, some people are performing for themselves. Some people's motivation is themselves. And that is performative. It's just not in the traditional sense. But yeah, that is hard because then you are like, damn, what am I performing? You know, social media presents that a lot. It's like, damn, what did I write out there just for everyone else? Or what did I write out there? Because, yeah, that actually helped me to put that out there. Yeah. For me, the last connection to Black history for me is like my parents' generation, right? Now, this is funny. When I went to visit Oklahoma, and I forget that people up here don't realize how long segregation existed. And I was like, oh, my mom went here, but this is this school. And people like legitimately be like, well, why'd your mom go to a different school? And I was like, bitch, because the schools were segregated. What the fuck do you mean? Your mom grew up in segregated school? Like, yes. What do you? Yes. Not my grandma, not my great grandma. Yeah, my mom. My mom went to segregated schools. That's how it was. Yes. And so I think a lot of people think that's so far in the past, but like, you know, one of the things that I'll tell people is like, one of the hardest things growing up is to not have grown up in a segregated time, but to be raised by someone who did. Yeah. Because there are like the amount of warnings and things that he gave to me that were an annoyance when I was young. And the older I got, I was like, yo, this is crazy. These aren't annoyances. This is trauma. This is how he grew up every day of his life as someone who was born in the 40s. Yeah. Right? So, you know, he wasn't even allowed to vote until he was an adult, right? It wasn't legal for black men. Yeah. And so his dad wasn't allowed to vote till his dad was 45 something years old, right? Yeah. Who's someone I also knew until he died 10 years ago. So there's still Black history, or what we would consider Black history, like textbook stuff that's in my life. And for, I guess Black History Month is still a reminder where I can ask about that. Like, there are some things I want to call and talk to my dad about. One, because he's very long-winded and always wants to talk about that.
Love that.
But because it is insightful, and I still get to the point where I'm like, there's a bunch of stuff that I didn't ask my grandpa that I wish I had, because his stories were way worse.
Yeah.
Which is also a sign of progress.
Yeah.
But the times he talked, he had great stuff to say about how much progress there had been. And so I think, one of the things, I just want to find out more information before I don't have access to it. Because once it's gone in living people, it's just gone.
Have there been moments, even now, where your dad will just casually share a story that you'd never heard before of his upbringing?
It's interesting now, because now no one wants to share stories until funerals.
Yeah.
But then you go to a funeral and all these hidden stories come out, and you're like, yo, what the? So now that's pretty much, unfortunately, when they come out the most, which is why sometimes I guess you got to ask, right?
Yeah.
Like, I called my dad today to talk to him about some stuff in light of Jesse Jackson passing, because he worked on his presidential campaign. And he talked about it a lot, and I was never interested. And then recently I was like, well, damn, Jesse Jackson I kind of thought would be here forever, or at least a little bit longer. But now my last access to someone who had direct access to him is my dad. So now I'm like, well, now I am really curious and like more stories about that, because those are things, I mean, it's like your last chance to talk to the World War II generation. And they're not really it, but they're the people who grew up under it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the baby boomers are our last line directly to pre-assembly line, like pre-civil rights, not during civil rights, but pre-civil rights.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing I'm most interested in at this point. And I guess Black History Month still reminds me of that.
Yeah. Well, I think segueing into Jesse Jackson, I mean, what did he mean? Like, what has he meant to you? And even in this short 12 hours where you just recently had a conversation with your dad, had you learned anything new and you want to share anything about it, aside from just rest in peace to Reverend Jesse Jackson and his entire family? This might be a great opportunity to also just kind of share any more insight.
I think he's a through line to show how close a different time was.
Yeah.
Especially because he was 84. 84 is not young. 84 is not that old.
Yeah.
We've all talked to a lot of 84-year-olds that are in as good a mental shape as any 35-year-old.
Yeah.
And he's an interesting person, because he's like, if we're talking 60s, what is he, 6 or 7 decades worth of
knowledge, information.
Yeah, and civil rights struggle and civil rights evolution, right? Because if you think about 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, each one of those decades is completely different.
Yeah.
And he's the young gun in the 60s. He's the presidential candidate by the 80s.
Yeah.
And then as many struggles in not just civil rights, but as many struggles tend to do. And honestly, by the time the 70s come around, he's like one of the last ones standing, as so many others were like purposely taken out.
Yeah. I got a trivia for you. When Jesse Jackson ran for office, you know how many states he won?
Yeah, I do.
How many?
Because I looked it up.
So what was it? Share with the viewers. Because I don't think people even know that either. I think more people than not actually don't know that he ran for office.
Yeah.
And
he won.
Although he lost, a lot of success came from that, man. Like
a lot of success, especially if you look at how often the what percentage, when you see a third party percentage, usually you have two candidates, they're splitting like 45 to 50%, and then you see another candidate get like 2-3.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas he was able to pull almost 20%, which is a large number. And when you pull 20% in a country where black people are 12%, that means you pulled far outside of your demographic.
Totally.
And I was looking at the chart and I was like, I see he won 2, but one of those looks hella small. The states in the Northeast are hella small, so it looks like he won 2.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell what the other state was that was in the Northeast that he won. I was like, is that D.C.? Is that? But he won some other state up there. But like, it looks like he won 2 states straight up.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, 20% of the Democratic vote
went to him.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
Yeah. And I think gave legitimacy to other efforts he did the rest of the time.
Absolutely.
Right? Because that was in like 84. So there's still many years. I mean, that's over 40 years ago.
Yeah.
I think gave way to some of the other things he did outside of, well, maybe what people would call traditional racial civil rights and what ended up for him being some other economical civil rights fights.
Well, we want to give a huge shout out once again to Reverend Jesse Jackson. Man, rest in peace, rest in power, brother. We appreciate all your efforts and contribution to not only Black history, but American history. You will not be forgotten. You've just passed the torch on to a new generation of African Americans that will pass the baton a lot further than where you left it, man. And we just thank you for a tremendous amount of work that you've been able to be a part of, complete, and thank you.
Yeah.
I think with that being said, man, I think it's a great place to kind of say thank you for listening to our podcast. Again, we do appreciate all of your support. Please like, share, subscribe. And until next time, man, we wish you nothing but the best. Peace.
Peace.